This is Keystone Motel.
Guess who else is fucked in the head?
Both of them.
Yes. Well, it turns out when you have a split personality,
Quite literally, yeah. So continuing from the last episode, which I like, Pearl feels
because
awful.
we're actually watching them in order.
Yeah, the Amazon still is not putting them in order. I had to go on the phone.
I don't know who's responsible for that, but you suck.
Yeah, it is way out of order. But I look up the actual list and everything, obviously. Garnet's still very angry at Pearl, even though Pearl's trying to work hard and be forgiven and stuff. And then the father comes in, says they're going on a road trip, and Garnet wants to come with, get away from everything. Gets really angry with herself, quite literally, splits apart.
It basically turns into Sideways, where you're on a road trip with people who should not be together.
Yes, and Ruby and Sapphire are seen again, and we learn... we learn more about them. We figure out one, they literally run hot and cold. One is, fire and everything, and the other is can freeze stuff. And one is very angry, and one is very calm. All those
cold.
Yes.
I like that it was like a metaphor for their personalities. Like one runs hot, one runs cold.
No, I thought that was very clever. And Steven thinks maybe it might be his fault, and they realize.
Well, they don't think. The biggest thing I found out is they don't think on a united front all the time. Like it always seems to be for the most part presented kind of like that, but this is the first time I'm like, okay, she's messed up too. Like if these two, it's like Inside Out. If these two freaking argue with each other, all of a sudden it's like,
yeah. Again, all of them are flawed in some ways. I mean, that one's just is.
Yeah, but with Garnet, we haven't seen that much of it. Like I feel like this is the first time I'm like, okay, this is a real Garnet meltdown.
Well, and I think that's why, when it was revealed that she was a fusion the whole time, I really want to know more about them because it's like, she is so put together and she is so well balanced that it's like, but it's because these two people are together and it's like, that can't last. You have to see, especially with such two extreme personalities.
And it makes her whole personality now, like seeing these two operate, I'm like, well, there it is. Like the sort of ass-kicking side measured with the sort of cold, detached, logical side, and you get that sort of balance.
No, it completely makes sense.
For the most part, unless this happens.
But they come together and they fuse once again, get very friendly with each other. Honestly, I was kind of like, when they get to the neck kissing and stuff, I was kind of like, wow, we're getting a little PG-13 here for a kid show. But
that wasn't even fucking PG. What are you talking about?
No, you usually don't see that. You don't see a couple on a kid show kissing each other's neck. I mean, they can kiss on the lips and maybe the head or top. But I mean, when they're kissing each other's necks and stuff, I was
so they're getting playful with their sexuality, just a touch. But how?
No, but in a kid show, you don't usually see that kind of stuff.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen plenty of Disney movies where the main characters kiss.
No, not
having
kiss.
just met each other.
No, yes, and obviously that's fairy tales and stuff, but I don't know, there's something about you see kissing on the lips all the time, it's when you're getting into the neck and the chest and stuff like that, I'm just wow, something about that seems just a little more sexualized than what I'm used, at least what I'm used to seeing in kid show. I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah, but they're
I'm saying
in love.
I don't usually see. No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying I don't usually.
And you know what I like? They're actually really in love and act kind of like a married couple getting frisky with each other. Not I just met this character 5 minutes ago. Guess we should marry.
Well, and when they get angry, they really seem where they separate, and one is fuming and screaming, and the other is just very trying to stay in control. And she'll come back and everything.
This is, since you're bringing it up, and this is what fucking pisses me off.
Okay.
Particularly about the way American society is set up. It's we have to freak out about that. Two characters in love, acting kind of like a married couple and getting a little frisky with each other and being friendly and flirting and showing that they're in love. That's too much, particularly if it's two girls. Holy shit. But, meanwhile, the Disney movies where it's just hey, we just met, or I kiss you and you wake up, you mine now, bitch. That's fine. And I'm not talking about, these others. What? Even Frozen, it's just you can't marry a guy you just met. She still does it with the,
No, she doesn't marry him.
Aren't they married at the end?
Well, shoes what you know.
I guess not.
They start a strong relationship that can blossom.
Maybe it shows you that I kind of forgot parts of that film because that fucking song. But yeah, even most of your classic Disney films up until the past few years.
Yeah, 5.
Like,
maybe
5 years.
10
So
years. Yeah, probably 5 years.
a long history of like 50 plus years of Disney films where you get these sort of instant romances. Yeah, like, that's okay, but two characters who have been in love for forever and, like, are in a committed relationship, like, flirting with each other, stand back! Ooh, it's gonna corrupt the youth of America!
Well, no. There's a few things to keep in mind. One is that the style of those films, particularly the early ones, is classic fairy tale. That's not a world where that much logic sort of comes in, where something here, the emotional logic and the details and so forth, they are structured in a different way.
They're fucking rocks! What are you talking about logic?
Well, no. But okay, in Snow White and whatever, Wizard of Oz and stuff like that, they're not going to sit down and discuss their emotions like they are in this show. That's not the style, that's not the setup.
Okay, fine, and
So
that
something
makes
like
this even better.
I didn't say it was bad. I'm saying it's something that you're not used to seeing, on a kid's show. I personally don't think it's bad.
So basically adults are
express
just like,
themselves
real human emotions. Our kids can't see that shit.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying I'm not used to
I'm not saying you're
that.
saying it's bad. That's what I'm saying they're saying.
But they didn't say that. They showed it.
I'm not talking about... I'm talking about the people who were, like, raising holy hell against this show, because two chicks got all flirty with each other.
But I didn't.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's an aside. That pisses me off in general.
Okay, so subject change. You hate when closed-minded idiots are saying, hey, I'm a closed-minded idiot. Be my closed-minded idiot also. Got it, okay.
But you brought it up because you're just like, I don't know, that was a little... I'm like, what? That was PG tops. I have seen, and particularly PG stuff in the 80s. Like, which would be PG-13 now.
It reminded me which this is also a PG film, but in Incredibles, I remember there's a scene where, like, the husband and wife are passing by, and, like, he pinches her ass, and then she pinches his ass. I was just like, wow, like, Disney cartoons have come much further than, what we're used to seeing. Because that just seems like something that wouldn't fly, like, some years ago. But it still shows affection. It still shows playfulness. It still shows... this nice connection, and I think it's the same thing here.
Yeah. If they were just a bunch of
sex
sex addicts just looking to bonk, like, that's something different. But I'm like, they're in a loving relationship. They truly love each other.
Yeah, no,
there's nothing that was PG material I just saw.
Mm-hmm. No,
so
I agree.
No, that's why I brought it up, because you're looking at PG-13 material. Oh God, like steamy? What?
No, for kid shows, this is not.
I mean, I watch anime. Oh, I've seen way worse.
No, but this is not something you usually see in kid shows. I'm not saying it's something that shouldn't be. Yeah. If anything, I think, especially the way it was animated.
I have seen worse with girl on girl. I've seen worse with girl on boy. I've seen worse with boy on boy. I've seen worse with girl on tentacle. Like, you come from anime, you see shit. This was just adorable.
Where do you spend your nights?
Well, obviously online.
So we got that settled. Let's talk a little bit more about the...
Sorry, it was just bugging me.
But the, I went through a similar kind of rage. We're talking on a Wednesday. I went through a very similar rage yesterday when the editorial went up talking about the fair use, because I knew this was an important episode, and so many things were going wrong to prolong this and to delay it, and some of the footage I got wasn't gelling with Premiere, and some of it I could only use audio, and then Premiere was shut down, all this stuff, and I just, for the first time in a while, months now, I just had, an explosion. I was exactly like her. I was just literally, walking back, that whole scene.
Ruby?
Yeah, no, I was exactly like Ruby, and my wife was exactly like Sapphire. She was sitting there trying to be, just keep yourself calm, I am literally pacing back and forth because I'm just so angry.
That explains all the police sirens.
I
love
and even more
that she walked around in the pool so long that
the water evaporated.
She evaporated all the water.
Yeah, I like the way they show that. And again, I like the cold in the room. I like her freezing the room and stuff. So I guess
I liked her freezing the. Okay, I liked her freezing the room too, because she's not freezing the room in other scenes. So it's like their hot cold thing is a reflection of their emotional state. So she, in that moment, even though she looked calm, was just as raging.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on. She just handles it in a different way, but it's still... I'm glad they address hey, she's not, Sapphire's not completely in control either, and this isn't totally the right way
I thought it was
either.
interesting that we finally kind of know where this is, since they mentioned the Keystone State.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know exactly where this was. I figured East Coast somewhere, but I couldn't figure out where.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if they ever said it before.
It's gotta be somewhere New York, Jersey, Maryland. If they say the Keystone State, it's gotta be
unless that's
somewhere.
literally the name of the state, Keystone State, like they made it
No,
up.
it's fucking Pennsylvania.
No, I know. It'd be
Pennsylvania's,
funny,
but when he showed he said, yeah, the Keystone State, it's drawn like Pennsylvania.
I was saying it'd be funny if it was like in the future or something and they like actually got rid of the name Pennsylvania for some reason, like just renamed it Keystone State or something. Like that's the literal name.
I'm sure they have a literal name. We just haven't looked it up.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will answer, but yeah, that's all I never knew where this. The first episode I thought was supposed to be on the West Coast, but then as it kept going, I'm like, no, Beach City. I'm like, this whole thing feels more like not Atlantic City because it's got a bunch of casinos, but I'm like, it's got that boardwalky kind of like pretty vacation coastal town on the East Coast. So, yeah, now to me, I'm just like, okay, so it's somewhere in that tri-state area.
Well, and the reason I brought up the anger thing is because the way they animated her anger, especially like her grabbing the table and stuff like that. I mean, just the little. A lot of times in cartoons, when someone's angry, they just punch something, But this really showed. Just getting off of that frustration, I'm like, no, they're capturing this very well.
I like Steven's dad. Son, someday you will learn to appreciate all pizza.
That's like my favorite line. Square Pizza, what kind of crazy place is this? One day you'll learn to respect all pizza.
It's not true, though. There is still some pizza out there that sucks.
Well, yeah, there's pizza. But even then, I won't say that you have to really try to piss me off with pizza. Pizza is probably like my favorite food. You have to
If I
really
hold
try.
a slice of pizza up and it literally falls like a flaccid penis, then your pizza's not like New York pizza. I can't do it. I'm like that's.
I like New York pizza, but there's definitely bad New York.
It's
pizza.
an unfinished calzone. I'm like, why am I folding?
You're not
this?
having the right New York. A good New York pizza.
The only
big
the
and
only
it's
good
crisp,
New York
but
pizza.
just soft
the
enough.
Only good. I've had New York pizza in New York multiple times. The only good. We lived in New England. The only good New York pizza I had, ironically, was that place we went to in fucking Florida.
That was a good place.
It was in Tampa. It was amazing. I wish I could remember the name of that place.
No, I've had
because I would tell people now,
pizza.
if you live in the Florida area, it's in downtown Tampa, and there's like some New York pizza place, and they're like, we use actual New York water. It's fun, and apparently New York water has like mystical properties. It
does. Have you ever had New York water? It's amazing.
It gives you force powers and also a fifth eyeball somewhere.
I wouldn't doubt it. Like, it's actually phenomenal water.
I'm not a big fan of St. Louis pizza. That cracker pizza.
I like that fine too. Okay,
That's not a racial term, by the way. It actually is. It's actually like a cracker. Like it's like so thin.
Says the two crackers.
Yeah, it's so thin. It's like eating pizza. So those two, I'm not really huge fans of, but. Generally, all other forms of pizza, you can't go wrong.
I'm with you. I think you described like the wet cardboard pizza. I don't really like. We're getting so sidetracked again. Sorry.
Who cares? We're done talking about it. We can talk about pizza. What else is there to talk about?
We can talk about pizza. It is time to talk about pizza.
We went through everything. They fought. They got back together. Garnet said later to Pearl, and that made her happy because at least they're speaking again. Now getting back to pizza.
It is time to talk about fair use and pizza. These are the two important issues right now we need to discuss. They are not being discussed.
Brick oven fired. Is my that it doesn't get better than that. I know, like,
but that goes kind of.
No, none of it's done right. The
New York pizza is the same way. If it's done right, it can be very good.
But see, the smaller brick oven fired, the Neapolitan style, they're only like this big. So when you cut it, it falls a little. But like a New York slice is literally the size of a Star Destroyer. And so it's like, it's this big, and so when you pick it up, it's like picking up a wet towel. Just
no, if it's
and then
like
all
that
the cheese slides up, and they're like, well, what you gotta do is fold it. I'm like, then why don't I order a fucking calzone? Because that's all that is then.
So good, though. I agree with you when it's like wet cardboard. That's like when it's just so limp. It's like the grease is so thick that it's like eating paper.
That place in Florida, run by the New Yorkers who imported the New York water, was very, very good. I did not have any good New York pizza in New York.
I had some very good New York pizza. But again, I love Chicago pizza.
I went to multiple places, and that's the funny thing. It was like, fuck Chicago shit, but I'm like, No, that's somewhere in the middle for me. Like, I like Neapolitan style brick ovens. Pizza the way it was made in fucking Italy.
Ironically, like, all the pizza you get around here is square. Like, there's very few places that do it
That's
round.
a Midwestern thing.
Yeah, no, I actually do kind of miss round pizza, though. The square pizza's really good, too. I just love pizza. I
But
love
even
all
Chicago,
pizza.
like Lou's. I Lou's over
Luminous,
Giordano's, or even I would go Lou's and Gino's East.
yeah.
Then maybe you're getting into but what people consider like Chicago style pizza isn't always the pie that's
believe we're
this
still
tall.
talking
I'm
about
just
this.
telling you. Everybody thinks it's the Giordano's stuffed pizza. It's not. It's more like the original Chicago style is more like Lou Malnati's. So it's thick,
So good.
but it's like
that's what
this
won Jon
thick.
Stewart over.
Yeah.
The Lou Malnati.
Yeah, the Lou Malnati's is the one that Jon Stewart was like, okay, by the way, when he handed him silverware, Jon Stewart's like, what am I, a fucking animal?
And the audience was like, boo! I love that.
But here's the interesting thing. You don't have to eat a Lou's pizza with silverware. You can pick it up.
Yeah.
Giordano's, no way. You need the silverware.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and defend Chicago pizza as the greatest either. But I
will.
I will defend it as some of the better pizza. And I will defend Lou's as fucking amazing. The stuffed style Giordano's not as much, but I think it's way better than New York style. And like in New York, I still think it's probably way better than that cracker they serve down in St. Louis, but
I'm glad we could bring this episode about emotions running
I
out of cold to pizza.
I have now offended 2 states. Who else? California pizza? What's that? Broccoli on pizza? Good job, San Francisco. I've got 2 states down. Who else makes pizza?
I'm gonna stop before you insult
Connecticut
the whole...
style pizza is actually pretty good. I like the white pizza with but
That was pretty good.
I think I've run out of pizza talk. Do Canadians do pizza? You can get Mec pizza in some parts of Canada. It's awful, by the way. Okay, actually, we can agree. New Yorkers, St. Louis, Chicago, California, Connecticut, Italy, everybody, Mec pizza is the worst.
I think we need to stop.
I just brought everybody together.